What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and today we're here to talk about episode 3 of Yoroi-Shinden Samurai Troopers, aka Ronin Warriors. And alright, ladies and gents, here we are. Episode 3 is usually the make or break episode, the one where people decide, am I going to be watching this series or am I going to drop it? So let's talk about it. I think in this episode they made a really bold choice as far as the direction of it goes. Since episode 1, the series has been juggling serious moments with comedy in short bursts. But episode 3, they kind of went full on comedy for at least half of the episode. And that's all thanks to the introduction of Yama, who's clearly the comic relief of the team. From the big exaggerated eye expressions to the high-pitched screams, to just being girl crazy and overall goofball, Yama is basically what your modern day big guy goofball trope is all about. And I kinda didn't like it. Not because he's bad per se, but because his energy pulls away from the darkness that the series was building. Even in the OG series with Kento, who was really just a big old teddy bear, it never really felt like it was a complete tone shift whenever he was on the screen to me. Here it definitely does. I mean, the man was working as a mascot, which, I gotta be honest, was a little bit hilarious, but come on. Now don't get it twisted, I don't think that this ruins the series at all. The episode 3 just felt a little too lighthearted for a story that was kinda rooted in darkness. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but traditionally episode 3 is where the momentum usually really kicks into high gear. With only 12 episodes, I still feel like the wheels are just turning with this series and maybe just a little bit too slowly when it comes to fully assembling this team. I mean, spoiler alert, we're all here now. But with that said, I do like that they at the very least got the training and team building out the way early with this season. This is something that usually comes much later, so I'll give them credit for that because, in longer series, they always take a break like right before they fight the big bad and then, they all get together and hold hands and all that good stuff and make up, but they got it all out the way here it seems. Again, maybe I'm just nitpicking it, but me personally, I just want a little bit more dark action. That's basically the ins and outs of it. For people that's been around the channel for a long time, I like psychological as my favorite anime genre, so I always want to see it get dark. So I don't know, maybe it just got me at the wrong time. What did or maybe didn't surprise me about Yama though, is that beneath all that comedy, he has a strong sense of justice. In fact, he literally is the justice sign. We got a bit of a flashback to this in episode 1 where he immediately wanted to rush in and help the people during a demon attack. But Ryu, Ryu wants no part of this guy at first when he wants to be a samurai trooper, mainly for the exact same reasons that we've been talking about. At the start of the episode, there's still only 4 official troopers and the search for the 5th is still ongoing. With some convincing from Musashi and Commander Natsu, Yama is given a trial to prove that he's worthy to don the armor gear. Meanwhile, there's still tension between Kaido and Guy. Kaido fully recognizes that Guy essentially left him alone to man up and face his grandma in the monster form, and that was all just to unlock his potential, like he saw through that 100%. Even if that resentment is one-sided, it's still there because Guy was just looking like, what are you talking about, bro? On the villain side of things, the group mourns Nezu's death in like a weird and comedic way. Again, maybe this is just me being nitpicky because I want to see a little bit more darkness, but it's done in a more comedic way than I expected. Again, another tonal choice that kind of caught me off guard. So Guy, Ryu, and the others need to be the samurai troopers. However, Ryu is like, we got to get you guys up to snuff. So the team enters a virtual training where 1 hour in the real world equals 1 day when they're on the inside. I mean, straight up some old school hyperbolic time chamber game. That's basically becoming masters in 30 hours. I mean, that's a light gaming session. I mean, come on. The purpose of this training is to master the armor gear, which we learn exists to protect the new generation from negative energy and to help them reach the level of the OG troopers. During training, everyone is competing with each other and they're going through a series of different tests, mental tests, physical tests, tests of discipline, and everybody's progressing except Yama. He still can't get past phase 1 of just putting on his undergear. One thing that I am watching closely though, Ryu briefly appears to be in pain while observing everybody while they were training. Is there a cost to using armor gear, or is Ryu dealing with a personal illness? This feels very important, and it seems like something that we really need to get to soon before we get too far in and possibly lose our boy. But none of that competes to the big reveal. Yama's actually Musashi's brother that he mentioned in episode 1, who was his inspiration and hero. They grew up together in an orphanage, and Yama always vowed to protect him. That's why Musashi vouched for him so hard when he wanted to become a trooper. And on top of that, they were once saved by a samurai trooper as kids too. So now I'm wondering, are they hiding that trooper's identity because it's someone we already know? Or is it someone that might become important later? So a 6th trooper maybe? There's still room for that. Training gets cut short when a demon horde attacks the real world. Guy, Musashi, Kaido, and of course Ryu are now strong enough to take on anything that they face. They don their armor gear and weapons, and they go into real combat. Yama, however, is still struggling. The demon army was summoned by Saizo, and the other demon, who I still think is going to end up being a good guy, is there as well. Saizo lies and tries to manipulate Guy by saying that Ramaga will find another body once they raise the human world, and once that happens he won't have to give his body up, which is clearly a lie. But then in a very questionable moment, Guy just starts savagely attacking Musashi once he heard that, like, oh yeah, I don't have to give up my body? Alright, well I'm done with these bums, I'm just about to beat them up, you know? It seems real, but it's also clearly designed just to push Yama into action, and that's still my biggest issue with Guy overall. It's going to take a lot for me to see him as a true leader or feel the same way that I should about him. He'll never touch Ryo or the Wildfire, and so far this show really isn't doing too much to make him likable for me. I'm guessing he needs a major loss or a turning point. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Yama's determination to protect his brother and others around him gives him the clarity that he needs to finally armor up as he dons the armor of wilderness. And now all 5 troopers are suited up. They're rocking out the guy's favorite rock song that we hear every episode, and the team is finally assembled. And Yama's even singing a song with Guy, so they kind of have like the buddying rivalry going on. But at the same time, I can tell that these two are really going to go out for each other if they really have to. And thus the day is saved. But wait, a man named Shion arrives and he confronts both the troopers and the demons. And Ryu reveals that this guy used to be a former samurai trooper. But whose side is he really on? And that wraps up episode 3. So does it pass the 3-episode test? 100% yes for me. That ending pretty much sealed the deal because now we got a little bit more to work with. We actually got a mystery going on now, and it already kind of put things on his ear with having Guy being the way he is as a hero. Although I'm a little bit worried about the pacing going forward, but for now I'm locked in with this. Let me know what you guys thought of episode 3 down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next week. So as I always say, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell if you guys want to hear more, and I'll see you guys soon. And also, as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. Until next time, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.